8 days to try and finish my foundations revealed competition piece. Hello friend, it is 6:38 in the morning of Wednesday, 27th of January, and it is still dark outside. I have got up early today in order to try and get some filming done before everybody else in the house is up, and hopefully I can get that done. So for those of you who watched my project planner video, this is my general plan. Hello puppy. This is my general plan for my foundations revealed entry. It is a dress based off of the character Shardas from the Dragon Skin Slippers. So I'm making a dress to go with said slippers. This is the pattern that I am using. It is Butterick B5832, and I've already cut out like all the pieces and such, so that's already in that sense. I've been waiting quite a while in order to buy the fabric for this dress. I initially ordered some samples from Bennett Silks back in March or April of last year, which we all know is when the dumpster fire really kicked off in 2020. And I then found out that Bennett Silks don't actually stock to individuals, they just stock to like warehouses or other fabric shops. Luckily, or so I thought, but settle down. At the time, I thought myself fortunate because one of my local fabric shops actually had Bennett Silk stocks. So I was like, oh brilliant, I can get my fabric from there. It'll be a little bit pricey, but I'll be able to get it and it'll be really good quality and it'll work fabulously. Said fabric shop has been closed this entire time. I haven't been able to go because I need public transport, but even if I could get there, the shop has been closed, so not exactly helpful. So I started ordering around for other samples at various different online shops to see what I could get, and I have been waiting for bloody ages for samples, and I can't tell you exactly how long. Like I said, I have had this planned for a long time. So yeah, I have been waiting quite a long time to try and just get fabric for this project, and unfortunately I just haven't been able to. Yesterday, Minerva Fabrics, which is an online shop, I'll put the link in the description, they pulled through and got samples to me within 48 hours. So I had a look at the samples. I will insert a clip here of me showing them and talking about them. Well, no, I'll talk about them here. 2 of them are just straight up polyester because as the year has gone on, my budget for this project has gone down. So I had a look at those, but honestly, they felt horrible and I did not fancy trying to work with them. They frayed so much as well. Weirdly, they are supposedly the same polyester, just in different colours, but the antique gold does not feel nearly as trashy and as bad as the like darker gold one. So I'm not really sure what's going on there, but hey ho. So I did in the end decide to... Don't mind my cat, she's extremely blind and deaf, so sometimes she just yells. I eventually went with the Duchess satin after talking to my partner and getting a second opinion on it because that's what I wanted to go with, but obviously it was quite a bit more than I was intending. So I ordered that last night with express delivery, so hopefully Minerva will hopefully Minerva will pull through again and that will arrive soon. So I'll just show you what I have been up to in the meantime and what I plan to get done today. Welcome to my horrifically messy sewing table. Do you have opinions about my sewing table, Susie? So I'm going to show you quickly what I've sort of been up to the past 3 months. Probably not even that. Actually, I think I've done most of this work in January. So the first thing I did was create this is just a mock-up mostly, As you can see, it's not actually working together yet or anything, but I made a corset mock-up that I basically made with the intention that this would be what I would wear underneath the dress to give it somewhat an okay shape. As you can see, the binding actually still needs to be sewn on, but it is at a point that actually if I take these off, it is wearable. I do have, oh, it's falling down. I do have the ribbon to fasten it at the back. Okay, that one's not the cute inside. Where's the cute inside? I think this one has the cute inside. This is the first proper corset that I have ever made. I did make one back in secondary school, but it wasn't like tailored or anything like that, and it had a zip front and it's reversible, so it was so yeah, this is the first one that I've made. It fits pretty well. I think it will do for this. I will be trying to up my corsetry game. As for other things that I have been up to, I have basically spent weeks and weeks smocking all the different pattern pieces that I wanted to have this smocking on. All of these areas, so this part of the sleeve, this bit here, and this bit here, I wanted to change all of the pleating and gathering to this dragon scale smocking. So this was the first bit I did. This one started out the entire width of one panel of the skirt, and I quickly realised it was going to take me forever. So actually by the time I came to doing the line work for this page in the project planner, I had already decided, you can see, not to smock the entire skirt, because I just do not have time for that. Need I remind you, I have 8 days to finish this. So after realising that I wouldn't be able to smock the entire skirt, I moved on to other things. Now I was determined that the sleeves would have this dragon skin smocking in. So I actually spent ages working out how much reduction there would be when you put the smocking there instead of the pleats that are in the original pattern. So this is what happened the first time I made it. So you can see that there is a lot of reduction. This is the one where I've fixed the pattern piece now. There's a lot of reduction both this way and this way. The reduction this way was absolutely perfect, so I didn't need to change anything there, but I did need to sort out the reduction that went this way. I am absolutely terrible when it comes to maths. That is no reflection on my lovely maths teacher from high school. She was brilliant. I tried using formulas, but my brain just does not work that way. So I'll show you guys what I did, and if anyone knows of a better way to figure this out, I am all ears. Please help me. So basically what I did was get this pattern piece, flip it this way, because this is the way it was cut out with the pattern. And I didn't iron this, so please don't yell at me. So I lined this up with the original pattern piece and saw to which point it followed the original lines, which was about to here, on both the top and the bottom. And where it started diverting from the pattern piece, I drew on the original pattern piece a line across here. So like the original pattern piece came down like this, and I just drew a line on it where this had fallen, both on the top and the bottom. I flipped the pattern piece out this way and then added it onto the top and bottom respectively. I then laid this Franken pattern piece out on some paper and drew around the entire new shape, which gave me this. I followed all the same markings, so we've got the notches and the lines that the pleating is in, because I didn't want to change that, and then just sort of labelled this is where the smocking is and which way the triangles need to go. So then I cut this out of the polyester fabric and I smocked this area, and when I did that I got this, which is near perfect to the original pattern piece, the final shape of the original pattern piece when it's pleated down, apart from this bit here, and I was really confused to start with because the bottom hadn't done that, and then I realized that it's because actually at the top I went right to the edge with the smocking, whereas at the bottom there was actually the allowed seam allowance left between the dots. So I realized that, oh yeah, this actually, if I start the smocking further down, like just outside or on the seam allowance line, then this gapping wouldn't happen and it would match the entire thing. So I did cut out another one, as you can see, to try this experiment. I haven't yet done it because I needed to step away from this project for a little while. But yeah, that is the plan for this pattern piece. For the gathered sleeve underneath it, so for this bit, I also decided I wanted that smocked, not gathered. And I initially thought I would do this. Do not mind the coffee stains on this fabric. And I thought I would do this with smaller scales. But actually, I found that I think I want to do the smaller scales on like this part of the sleeve where the pleats are, and then do the bigger. So these are, the dots for these ones were all 2 centimeters apart, and these ones were just 1 centimeter apart. So I decided I want this on here and this on here. So I have cut out over here another bit here. My final dilemma is with these parts, so the left and right drop, which in my design I have changed and said that I actually want those to be smocked as well. But those pattern pieces are a really interesting shape. They're not just rectangles, and I cannot figure out how to adapt them from pleats to the smocking. So I may need to call in some reinforcements from the Stitchlings group and see if any of them can help me with the maths, because I have no idea what I'm doing. Susie wants breakfast. So I'm gonna go feed the animals, hope Billy comes home, and then we'll get started. So the animals are all fed and medicated, and you good, honey? You alright? Puppy's already asking to go out, so I'm going to let him out. I'm going to finish my tea. I'm going to take some photos of those drape bits and see if anyone can help me. And yeah, I will get back to you in a little bit.
1 minute, 37 seconds later.
So I finished my tea and I've had a little think. And actually, I might leave those draped pattern pieces across here. I might leave those pleated because I think it could look really cool as like the wings for the dragon, like kind of like they're in the right place, like obviously they're on the front of the body, not the back, but they're in the right place. And loads of illustrations of dragons, they have like the thicker like finger part of the wings. Oh god, what is my hair doing? And they have the thicker like finger parts and then like webbing. I don't know what the correct term is, I'm not a dragonologist. Is that a word? Anyway, so I think it could actually look really cool, and then you've got the scales on the arms and around the waist and then around like the top of the skirt. So I think I'm going to try and pleat those pieces, see what it looks like. I have at least 2 days before the real fabric arrives. Even with express delivery, it's still going to take that time. There's still delays with Royal Mail. So in the meantime, I didn't think I would have time to do this, but I'm going to make a mock-up of the bodice and I'm going to see how it fits and try and get that like spot on. So I have made garments before, so I'm technically not a beginner for this competition. I am an apprentice. and that means concentrating on fit rather than just making a thing. So I'm gonna try. Wish me luck. Can I help you? Hi. What's up? What's up? Okay, so we have the piece all pleated now. I'm not sure which way it's supposed to go. It's the left drape, and I'm not sure if I've actually done this on the wrong side of the fabric or if it goes this way. I think, given the way the pleats, yeah, I'm not I'm not entirely sure, but it's just mock-up. This is just scrap fabric, so it doesn't really matter. I'm going to sort out the right drape now, which is that piece over there, and then I will cut that out, pleat it, and then sew it down, I guess. My machine is kind of buried, so I don't know if I will do this by hand. Probably not. I will probably drag the machine out.
Years later. I've just realised that the needle is broken. So slight problem. I forgot that the last time I was sewing, which was working on the corset that I showed you earlier, I broke the needle on my machine, and I don't have another one because the spare one broke when I sewed through my thumb. So I'm gonna have to order some more. I think I can probably get some from Minerva, which is the place that I've got my fabric, and I can get express delivery. So since I can't do sewing on the machine, I'm actually gonna use this time to smock those other pieces that I prepared and see if I like the design of it with the scales switched around, so the thinner ones on top and the larger ones underneath. After doing the pleating on the drapes, I've decided that actually, yeah, I do like this draped effect. So that can go onto there, and then there will be sleeve with small scales here, and then a poof with bigger scales. Might lose me points in the competition because they kind of, like, you're allowed to use a pattern in the first two groups, which is beginner and apprentice, and I'm in apprentice. So this is only the second ever dress that I've made, and the first one was done pretty much entirely by hand, and it's also only the second garment I'm making for myself. Scratch that bit about making stuff for myself. I've only ever completed one garment for myself. In the first two levels you can use a pattern, but you get like extra points for adapting it and originality and fit. So although they have said that you don't need to worry about putting it on a live model this year, I don't have a choice in that because I don't have a dress form. Usually the stuff I make is for my partner, so I don't need a dress form when I'm making it for her. I just ask her to stand up. I don't think doing the pleats instead of the smocking on the drape bits affects the portrayal of the character, so I'm gonna go with it. And like I said, I quite like it. It's kind of like the fanning out of wings, even though it's on the front of the body, not the back. But I think it looks really cool, so yeah. So I'm gonna get on with the smocking, and I'll do a little clip, I think. AJ probably put a clip in here, of me showing you how I do that. So let's go.
Joseph, are you helping? Is that what you're doing? You helping Muddy do that sewing? Good boy. He's so cute. Pull. 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 There we go. Good boy. It's a good boy. Oh, so much pull. Oh, you coming all the way up. Okay. You're so cute. My little assistant. Hey. There you are. Okay, I'm gonna have some puppy cuddles.
Little memory note, AJ. 2 seconds after you put the phone down, Bo climbed up onto the table. Hi, hello, annyeong. Welcome to day 2 of getting up early to get shit done. Now you might not believe this, but I did actually wake up and get up at 6 o'clock. I just didn't do any sewing things in the morning. I edited the footage from yesterday, so that's done and out of the way. And today is gonna be mostly smocking. In fact, I think it's going to be entirely smocking. But we have good news. Oh, lighting, can you? So the postman has just come because our postman does not arrive until the afternoon. But I have a very, very exciting parcel. Oh my god, it is heavy. I believe this is my fabric from Minerva Fabrics. I'm gonna show you what I got. I am not using scissors because the only ones on my sewing table are my fabric scissors, and I don't want to go to hell, so... Oh yeah, some matching thread. Oh my god, this looks beautiful. It's so shiny, it looks so good. So this is 12 meters of, I think it's just polyester maybe? Doesn't actually say the type, but it's a Dutch satin. And with a nicely, easily identifiable right side and wrong side. So the matte side is the wrong side of the fabric, the shiny side is the right side of the fabric. Which I love it when it makes it easy like that. So this is what the dress is going to be made out of. I actually bought more than it said it needed on the pattern because obviously I'm changing some bits to smocking, and the smocking reduces the fabric more than just gathering or pleating does. Well, gathering, pleating is about the same depending on the size. And I'm doing what's supposed to be done in a contrast fabric for the piping. I'm doing that in the same fabric. I might do it so that the piping is on the matte side, but I shall see how that looks. I'll do a little experiment and have a look. And as my update for today, I'm gonna go and smock some more fabric. See you later.
Much later.
It is now 9:40 p.m. on day 2, and after hours and hours and hours of smocking and many episodes of Waterloo Road, I have nothing to show for it. Well, I have little bits to show for it, but I messed up the smocking that I was doing and lost track of where I was, and yeah, I've decided to put it down and come back to it tomorrow. I am so aware of what little time I have left, and like this isn't, it's taking an age to do the smocking, let alone the actual construction. So hopefully I can get this done. We have 5 days left until like the final deadline, which is 5 p.m. on the 3rd of February, and I just hope I can do it. My plan is that tomorrow will also be a mock-up day, and I will get the bodice done. My tools from Minerva, they were express delivery as well, so that was the needles that I ordered, and they should arrive tomorrow, but given that the post today didn't arrive until about 2 p.m, I'm not expecting it really before that. So what I'm gonna do is, early in the morning, cut out all the mock-up pieces for the bodice and just piece it together and see how it all fits and whether it does fit. So yeah, there's probably gonna be some adjustments to do. So I'm going to stitch it all with like long basting stitches, do it as quickly but as carefully as I can, and then when the sewing needles arrive for the machine, I can neaten stuff up if I need to, or just do some bits more precisely. Hopefully I would have been able to get the actual bodice done in the basting stitches, mark and make any adjustments, and then in the afternoon I can sew it again with the machine and see how that one's fitting. That's what I'll do in the afternoon, and then hopefully in the evening I can transfer those marks from the pieces of the bodice, like so take it all apart, transfer those markings from the bodice pieces to the pattern pieces and get the new ones that I need to make ready. As you saw, the fabric arrived today, so but for now I'm gonna go play some Sims and go to bed. See you in the morning. Bye. Hello, puppy. Mwah. Hi. Welcome back. I have a puppy. Puppy is fun. Wow, no, puppy is half on my lap, half not right now. What are you eating? It's 10 to 9 on day 3 of getting up early to get shit done. Today I didn't get up quite as early into the day because I was in a little bit of pain. So as you can see, I am still in my pyjamas, complete with fluffy snuggie. So the plan for today is that I will sew together the bodice mock-up using large basting stitches, check the fit, make any adjustments to those fabric pattern pieces, and then I will transfer those onto the actual pattern pieces or make new ones if need be. And then, hopefully, by then my sewing needles from my machine will have arrived and I can sew it together very quickly by machine after that and check the final fit. Fingers crossed that can all happen. I messed up the smocking last night and I'm gonna try and fix it today, but we shall see if we're able to do that. Bye!
So that's how the dart is marked. That's where it's supposed to be? What? What is it? Huh? How did... Where is... Oh wait, it's the lining. That might not be the lining. Oh, it. I found it. It was just buried at the bottom of the pile. So yeah, this is the one that we have to sew now. So let's do that. Hey, editing Spencer, you need 2 of these. Why am I like this?
So I have cut out the pattern pieces that I needed more of. I am just going to go through and transfer all the marks from the pattern pieces onto the fabric, and then I'm going to sew the dart into the lining bodice, and then we're going to move on to the next step.
Update on today's work. I thought I had monumentally mucked up this mock-up because, as you can see, like, this dart is sticking out from under the drape bit, and there is the hell of a lot of excess fabric on both sides. And when I held it up to my body, I was a little bit confused. I was like, is this because it's too big for me chest-wise? But no, it's because you see these drape bits, I have literally pinned these all along in like a straight line. Well, I reread the instructions because I am a heathen and do not do that. And you see this bit where it says to stitch the bodice right front and slash? No, wait, wrong bit. You see this instruction where it says to arrange the pleats along center front? Pleats will fan out and widen? Yeah. They can't really do that if you have pinned them within an inch of their life. So I think this extra roominess is because where I've tried to pin this along the flap line on the left hand side, it's pulled this out of where it should be because these haven't fanned out to give more shape. I really don't want to unpick everything and do it again, but I might have to. I don't know. I'm this close to crying a little bit, so we'll see what we can do. Okay, so update. I took the drape off to try and see what was... Oh, hello, Rachel. See what was going on underneath. And like when this is pinned edge to edge with this, there's a lot of spare fabric when you come to line it up with the... I don't know if I messed up with the lap line. I found the pattern piece. Let's have a look. All the seams are actually external, so I don't have to worry folding back any seam allowance when I pin this. So you can see here, without me pinning down this edge, that those aren't in the right place. So this is where it should be. That's where I drew it. I don't know how I did that. I probably just was not paying enough attention. That sounds like me. So yeah, you can... Which is weird because... Oh, I don't know what they did wrong. Because it looks like I did the individual. How? What? Well, somewhere along the line, I messed up. So I'm going to go and try and fix this. That also makes sense as to why this dot is in the wrong place. Ah, okay. So I got out the pattern piece again to kind of check if I'd gone wrong on this pattern piece as well. And it's not much, but like I have. Like, why did I cut this out when I was asleep or something? Like, come on. Okay, so I have... Again, like, I haven't put the drape back on just so I can see this clearly. I've got it to a point that the excess seems more reasonable and is in like the right place. So in like the bust area rather than like over here, which is where it wanted to be. It's still going out at that angle at the moment because that's just finished pinning it. But yeah, I guess I will base this on and see, and then I will try and find a mirror to show you guys. Okay, I'm sorry if this footage is actual garbage and you get motion sickness, but I'm currently on the back of my sofa to try and get this shot. So we are getting somewhere. This is the bodice. I had to double check and see, but it does sit off the shoulder slightly. So I tried to replicate that with where it sits here. This is just the front of the bodice, by the way, not the whole thing. And yeah, when I'm stood up, obviously it's a little different when I'm sat down like I am now. The left-hand side fits pretty well. I'm still having a few issues with the right-hand side. I think I will need to take a little bit off the seam here because this seems to be where the problem is. I showed you before there was like a little bit, but I think I'm going to need to take more off. But I do like the shape and feel of the arm's eye. There's a little bit of room there because I don't like it when things are like really tight around here. They say wearing a t-shirt like that. Sorry, had to switch hands, my arms ache. Okay, so I moved this back up my shoulder because this is just pinned to my t-shirt and my shirt had moved, so it had fallen down. It's a little hard to see because it's white on white, but the sheen is helping a little bit. I don't really understand why there's darts at the waist of the lining, but not the front. Like there's no,
There's no darts here, which just seems kind of weird to me. So I might add them if it's a problem with the proper dress. But for now, I'm gonna go and get something to eat because I am hungry. Then I'm gonna work on the back of the bodice and fingers crossed that my needles arrive because I kind of need those.
10 seconds later.
They arrived! Yay! This video is basically a tour of all the various mirrors in this house. So bodice is pretty much all together, and when it's pulled round, actually fits pretty well. It does fit. There is enough room around the bust and around the waist at this point here. I might need to take a little bit in at the sides, but I'm gonna check that on the proper version, I guess, because without the fastenings in this one, I can't properly tell, and it's only a little bit, so it wouldn't be a huge alteration. So yeah, I think I'm nearly ready to do the real one. Although I still have the sleeves to sort out. First things first, I actually need to do some work on the video that is going up tonight, which is my February bullet journal setup. So I need to go and make the thumbnail for that. That's pretty much all that's left. Oh no, I haven't done a voiceover. Shit. Welcome back. I don't know if you could tell, but I was just getting a little wee bit stressed out earlier because of the amount of work I had to do, still have to do, and the fact that I forgot about the February bullet journal video. So I took a break from sewing and I made all the digital media for that video, so that's all made. It looks really cute. It was really fun to make, so that kind of relaxed me a little bit. And now I am back and I am going to try and do this smocking. I would like to finish the sleeve part tonight if I can. I do have to go back, and I started unpicking it last night, but I need to go back and undo these rows because I got distracted last night watching Father Brown, I think it was, which is like a cozy crime thing with posh people and beautiful clothes. I think it's set in the 40s or 50s, but yeah, I digress. The clothes are beautiful, it distracted me, so I messed up on the clothes I was supposed to be making. So I've got to undo that and then redo what I did wrong, but do it right this time, and then finish this. And just check that when this is all smocked with scales this size, it is still the correct size for the pattern piece, like the finished size is the correct size. And then I have the whole middle sleeve part, which I've extended by about 3 inches this way, because that seems to be kind of the magic number. 3 inches to the bottom, and then I kept it the same width because this is a piece that would be gathered anyway, so it's reduced widthways. Which the smocking does, but the smocking also reduces it this way, which is why I've put the extra that way, but not that way, because it's supposed to go not that. I'm gonna get on with that, and I will see you in a little bit for the day 3 wrap up. It's day 3, right?
Now comes the eternal question of where the hell are my needles? This is where my needles should be. That is a pin. Where are my needles?
When I get stressed, I tidy. But I do not tidy logically. So you'd think stressed AJ would pick up the needles, put them in their little cushion, cleared all the pins away into the correct pots. But where did I put the needles? You know when you're playing a video game and you can't complete a level and you just start jumping into everything, trying to kill everything, like shoot everything, like anything to solve the puzzle. Because you know what? Maybe throwing yourself into the lava is the way to succeed. That's where I am right now. Belle, do you know where the needles are? Oh, you'd help me if you could, wouldn't you? I'm just gonna lay on the floor for a bit. Apparently laying on the floor means harassing my dog. You are beautiful. Belle, you look like how I feel. These are not the needles I was looking for. They've just disappeared into the ether, I guess. But I have these, so why did I only give myself like a week to do all of this? Let me show you what I got done yesterday. So the sleeve has now been fully smocked in that area. So we have all the little dragon scales on there. And yeah, I definitely prefer this on the smaller area rather than the bigger scales on the smaller area. Yesterday was supposed to be the last day of mock-ups, but I didn't work on the dress that much because I had to sort out the February bullet journal video. So the plan for today is that I'm going to smock that last arm piece, the big one, just to check that it reduces to the right size. As soon as that is done, we are moving on to the actual dress. I really want to get that started. It needs to be cut out and at least prepped today. And, oh, hello puppy. I'm not sure this is as helpful as you think it is. Puppy cuddles aside, we now need to connect the dots and turn them into triangles. I'll put the link in the description for the blog post that explains this a lot better than I do, because that's where I learned how to do this type of smocking. So basically you want to start in the bottom corner of the side that you're going to start your sewing on, and this is where we start to connect the dots. Side note, this needs to be done on the wrong side of the fabric, and the triangles need to point in the opposite direction to the way you want them to appear on the right side of the fabric. Because my piece is just a straight up rectangle, I'm just drawing the triangles pointed down because it makes sense to my brain, and I can flip the fabric around until the scales go in the right direction. Oh, and make sure the triangles aren't touching. No two triangles should share a dot. This is what it will look like when you're done. So here's how you turn those triangles that we made before into scales. I always start my smocking in the bottom left hand corner. It just makes sense to me to do it here. You're basically going to be putting a single stitch on each corner of the triangle and then pulling them all together. I start on the furthest right hand point of the first triangle and then go anti-clockwise. So I go along the straight line to the point directly opposite, put a little stitch, then I go to the bottom point and put a little stitch, and then back to the starting point. At each of these points you're only going to pick up a couple of threads and make a very small stitch, but do not pull these tight yet. Essentially you should be able to see the thread going along the lines that you drew before. Once you get all the way back around to that first point and put a stitch in that to connect the bottom point with the first one, you want to hold on to the tail of your thread. This is easy here because it's the bit just after the knot, but later on you're going to need to keep track of this. So without pulling the tail tight, you're going to pull all the other stitches together into one point, and then you're going to put a final stitch through all of it to hold them there. Then you're going to move to the next triangle. For me, this is over on the right. And you do the same thing, but this time in the opposite direction. Again, make sure you hold onto the tail of the thread. You do not want that to be pulled tight. If it is, you won't get the scale effect and they won't link into each other. So once you've completed the process going around that triangle, you're going to move back to the left hand side and do the same thing again, making sure to keep the tail held tightly. You should be moving over left or right and up each time you move to a new triangle. And then you just keep smocking for all eternity. Thanks for watching, everyone. This is the second part of my dragon skin dress diary. The third installment, where I make the final dress, will be the next and final part of the series, so stay tuned. If you like this video, please give it a like to let me know that you're enjoying the variety of content on my channel. And if you're new here, feel free to subscribe so we can hang out some more. I upload twice a month with bullet journal setups, sewing diaries, and writing vlogs. So if you like the sound of any of them, stick around. I'll see you in the next video. Bye!